The sun had yet to rise, and already the air felt heavy and oppressive, thick with the scent of salty sea mist mingling with the poignant smell of sweat and despair. In a dusty, shadow-filled corner of the harbor, a young man named Oba clutched onto the small piece of wood, the sole remnant of his past life. His heart ached with memories of his family, their voices now echoes within the recesses of his mind. For Oba, they were the only world he had ever known. Bare feet scraped against the rough cobblestones as guards prodded him and others toward the ship that waited ominously on the dock. Each shackle around his ankles and wrists felt like a grave marker, commemorating the death of freedom and self, a shroud of chains binding his spirit to a fate unknown yet dreaded. A shout pierced the morning mist as traders barked commands, their voices slicing through the early silence. Oba shuddered, eyes wide with each call, pleading internally for intervention that he knew would never come. His mother's stories of brave warriors battling injustice seemed an alien dream now. His mind danced unbidden across images of lush fields and open skies, a stark contrast to the grim reality that awaited him. The rows of shuffling figures boarded the looming vessel, a procession of ghosts yet living. In single file, they adhered to a twisted order, staring into the void of the future with hollow resignation. The ship creaked like a groaning beast, accepting its unwilling passengers into the belly of darkness. As the first steps onto the gangplank closed the distance between Oba and the gaping maw of the ship, he glanced back once as if to catch a last glimpse of land, the soil that he might never touch again. In the hazy, dawning light, the outline of the land seemed to blur, mingling with his tears. Around him, hushed whispers of fellow captives resonated softly, a symphony of sorrow and solidarity. In this shared nightmare, they clung to the fragments of language and song that spoke to their humanity, a defiant flicker of hope in the abyss. Thus, with each step forward, Oba carried not just a piece of wood, but the burden of countless stories erased by chains. And as the ship set sail, he became one with the Atlantic winds, whispering a silent cry bound for Brazil, where the sun might find him a stranger, forever a shadow of what he once was.